Chapter 312. Upon the surrender of the Blackstone Fortress bandits, the young leader Zhu Huaran was the first to compose herself. Her gaze, ineffable and profound, met mine as she offered a deep bow of respect. "I am greatly indebted to you. It's nothing. I was just passing by and it didn't take much time." The level up was satisfying enough for me. To Zhu Huaran, however, this intervention was like a lifeline. If it weren't for young Master Jin's help, our Dragon Phoenix armed escort agency would have had to bury our bones here. I've heard of the reputation of the sleeping dragon of Shaanxi, but it's true that you are a hero who can't stand injustice. Hero? What hero? Those are just flattering rumors, you know. What? Even if I see injustice, I sometimes let it go. I only deal with the ones who really bother me. But somehow the ones who bother me always turn out to be the worst ones, like Thousand Strength Axe here. As I spoke, I observed the body of Thousand Strength Axe being hauled off. And our family also runs an armed escort agency. Ah, the Jin family's escort agency. The former Star Cloud escort agency operated by the Wu family had rebranded to the Jin family's escort agency, now prospering with over 5 branches. Given the proximity of Shaanxi and Shangxi, an inevitable intersection with the Dragon Phoenix armed escort agency seemed likely. You know about the Jin family's escort agency? If we ever meet, treat us well, just like today, helping each other with mutual cooperation. Mutual cooperation? Is there a problem? You do realize that the Jin family's escort agency and our Dragon Phoenix armed escort agency are competitors, don't you? Competitors? Surprised, I inquired further. Is that true? You really didn't know? Yes, I haven't paid much attention to the family business. If you hadn't saved us today, the Jin family's escort agency might have been able to expand into Shaanxi. Even though it doesn't seem like it now, we are still in control of Shaanxi. I see. It's fiercer than it looks in this business. There are many unseen struggles and occasional violent conflicts. Well, if we can't expand, it's okay. I'll tell my oldest brother to stay friendly. Zhu Huaran, after a moment of contemplation, couldn't help but laugh. Thank you for that. Her smile took me aback with its unexpected beauty. I barely managed to stifle my astonishment when whispers from behind reached my ears. Incredible, it's the first time I see someone more beautiful than Miss Xiaowol. Zhu Huaran, the flower-shrouded blade, is one of northern Zhongbei's 3 beauties. I don't know who Xiaowol is, but you dare to compare her to Zhu Huaran? What nonsense. Young Master Gung, go scrub on some of that river rock. Your dirtiness is unbearable. What's it to you? You're a beggar, aren't you? Ha, well that's true. An innocent voice followed. No, it's true. Miss Xiaowol is pretty too. What's with you, young Master Chong? I didn't know you could say such things. And in my eyes, young Master Gung is pretty too. Then, pretty young Master Gung, why don't you go wash in the river? Especially focus on your eyes. Without a doubt, it was the Bermuda Triangle. Under normal circumstances, I would have made introductions, but the level of conversation was so low it was embarrassing to even speak. As I awkwardly cleared my throat, Zhu Huaran glanced over my shoulder. Who are those people? I don't know, but you came with them. They're just companions for the road. Really? I swear to the heavens. Trying to keep my voice low was futile. The Bermuda Triangle caught wind of our conversation and reacted explosively. Squad leader, are we an embarrassment to you? Are you embarrassed of me? Savior, I'm fine, please be embarrassed of us. Actually, they are my friends. They look like it. It was a heart-crushing comment. Zhu Huaran, wearing a gentle smile, offered a respectful bow to the trio. I am Zhu Huaran, the young leader of the Dragon Phoenix armed escort agency, and I greet our saviors. I wasn't quite sure what these guys did to be called saviors, but the Bermuda Triangle also bowed their heads. I am Mu Jin, the commander of the Jin Dragon Squad, and the right-hand man of the sleeping dragon of Shaanxi. I interjected calmly. He's not the commander but the temporary commander, and less of a right-hand man but more like my left pinky finger. Then, Gungji Bang introduced himself. Beggar Gungji Bang at your service, the future beggar king. Chong Peng spoke next. Hello, you're pretty. As you can see, this child is a bit special, a bit lacking but a good friend. After their whirlwind introductions and my own clarifications, Zhu Huaran's mouth slightly opened in disbelief. Her eyes, wide and black, seemed to quake in astonishment. So, let me get this straight. Left pinky finger, future beggar king, and a slightly lacking but good friend. Is that right? Yes, that's accurate. I've never heard such descriptions before. Should I repeat I? No, thank you. She sighed deeply, her gaze shifting to each one. I have heard about the accomplishments of the Swift Wind Sword in the suppression of the northern bandits. What? Mu Jin stared at Zhu Huaran, confusion written across his face. Swift Wind Sword, a moniker unbeknownst to him until now. He seemed pleased by it though. Before a response could be mustered, Zhu Huaran continued. The person beside you is young Master Gungji Bang, disciple of the Boundless Seeker, the leader of the beggar sect. Nice to meet you. And finally, it's an honor to meet young Master Chong Peng, the divine dragon of manwha. My grandfather and father always regarded the sword saint Mei Zhonghak as a hero of righteousness. The divine dragon of manwha, a title bestowed upon Chong Peng after the great celestial banquet. Chong Peng was visibly surprised. Wow, how do you know all that? Zhuhua Ran offered a knowing smile. Because I am the young leader of the Dragon Phoenix Armed Escort Agency. Her response was brief yet laden with significance. We departed Henan mere days after the conclusion of the great celestial banquet. She's astonishingly quick at gathering intelligence. Particularly impressive was her knowledge of Hyuk Mu Jin, a relatively unknown martial artist in Shaanxi, not to mention the exactitude of his nickname. This revealed Zhuhua Ran's meticulousness and sharpness. The flower-shrouded blade, a beauty harboring hidden danger. She was not just hiding a single danger, she was a peak martial artist, and combined both a keen intellect and an alluring beauty. She had rightfully earned her place among the future leaders of Murim, the 10 dragons and phoenixes. Impressive. With such capabilities, she must be managing the escort agency well. I recalled hearing from Gung Jibang about the Dragon Phoenix Armed Escort Agency's recent struggles. I dismissed the stray thought that surfaced. What does it matter to me? Finding the Divine Doctor is more pressing right now. Having already been delayed for nearly an hour, we must hurry if we want to reach our destination before dawn. Miss Ju, we need to get going. Zhuhua Ran seemed taken aback by my abrupt statement. Right now? There's an urgent matter. It's already late. Why don't you stay the night and leave tomorrow? That's a bit. I need to be in Xi'an by tomorrow. Zhuhua Ran appeared to want to say more, hesitating momentarily. Will I see you again? Of course, if fate allows it. As I nodded and turned to leave, Zhuhua Ran added softly, I will never forget the favor of saving my life. Well, even without me you would have avoided the worst situation, so you don't need to be that thankful. Huh? Of course there would have been some damage. Does she still not know? It seemed plausible. I offered Zhuhua Ran, who wore a look of confusion, a small smile before shifting my attention to the intense gaze of the young courier. The martial world is indeed vast, that such a skilled person is just a courier. He was the source of the piercing gaze I had felt throughout my conversation with Zhuhua Ran. His stare had been so intense it felt as if the back of my head was on fire. But why has that guy been glaring at me like that since earlier? Do we have some grudge? It wasn't just me who sensed the hostility. Chong Peng, trailing close behind, whispered to me, Savior, did you feel it too? Yeah, I don't know why, but it's quite obvious. Right? Maybe he thinks you're pretty too. Please stop talking nonsense. As our group rapidly departed, Zhuhua Ran watched our retreating figures and was soon joined by another. Hua Ran. Uncle Heo. Heo Jun, having resolved the bandit situation, joined Zhuhua Ran, following her gaze. The sleeping dragon of Shaanxi, Jin Taekyung. A truly remarkable young man. The others as well. That's true. They say not to trust the rumors of Murim. But this time, it seems they were actually you understated. Zhuhua Ran reflected on Jin Taekyung's martial skills. His prowess was nothing short of staggering. While she was thrilled by his abilities, a hint of envy tinged her thoughts. If only I had such power. The Dragon Phoenix Armed Escort Agency's current predicament might have been averted. Suppressing the words teetering on her lips, Zhuhua Ran suddenly used sound transmission. Uncle Heo. Keep an eye on Chief Escort Song. Heo Jun, an experienced and shrewd chief courier, subtly acknowledged her request, cleverly intertwining his response within a different conversation. Hua Ran. What do you mean by that? It's still just a guess. But there are several troubling points. Zhuhua Ran pondered over the events leading to the recent chaos. From the unexpected leak of the 1,000-year snow ginseng to the relentless onslaught they faced in the past 4 months, everything pointed towards a sinister undercurrent within her own ranks. The final words of young Master Jin keep echoing in my mind. His assertion that the worst would have been avoided even without his intervention implied the presence of a formidable force within the Dragon Phoenix Armed Escort Agency. Among them was someone capable of overpowering 1,000-strength acts and countering the adversaries. And those ease. It was only a moment, but she had seen it clearly. The way Jin Taekyung's gaze lingered on Song Il Siam as he turned away, and the subtle surprise in his eyes. There's definitely something. Recalling the past 2 years, Zhuhua Ran, who had taken the reins of the agency at a young age, had faced numerous setbacks. If these failures stemmed from excessive trust or worse, betrayal, how should she proceed? Whoosh! The cold wind swirled around her as she stood, lost in thought. Could you provide a quiet room? The man in white, despite his weary appearance, spoke with such courtesy that it was difficult to decline. To the guard at the entrance he resembled a dignified crane. Who is he? A new face. The guard watched over Xi'an Tower, which, as its name suggests, was a representative pavilion of Xi'an. To stay here, one needed not only money but also a corresponding status. That's why the faces seen here were usually familiar. A lone young man without a carriage or attendants. Normally this would warrant an immediate refusal. Yet there was something compelling about him, prompting the guard to engage personally, dismissing his subordinates. "Have you visited our pavilion before?" "No, I haven't. My circumstances don't allow for such luxury." The young man's bashful smile and the gesture of rubbing his cheek caught the guard's attention. That emblem, the embroidered pink blossom on the young man's white sleeve, caught the guard's eye, signifying something significant. The guard's eyes fixed on the unmistakable embroidery of a fully bloomed plum blossom. With a tone of hesitancy he spoke. May I ask for your name, sir? I am a Taoist named Musong with the surname Bake, the first crane of manwha." He was the direct disciple of the head of the manwha sect, True Heavenly Sword. The first crane of manwha, Bake Musong, smiled faintly.